Let's talk a moment about being consistent on Reinventing You. How's it going, Reinventors? My name is Amelia Sims. This is Reinventing You, the channel where you can be inspired to take your own reinventing journey so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. I consistently post twice a week, so make sure you subscribe and click on the bell so that you will be notified when I post new videos. I'm so glad that you are here. Now, I have to tell you that one of the things I want to talk about today is being consistent. And this is not a very scripted video. In fact, this is not a scripted video at all. I don't know if you've realized it, but recently a lot of my videos have been very scripted. That is, I've written down pretty much all I'm going to say. I've written everything out. It makes the whole production a lot easier, especially when you're uploading and getting it ready for YouTube. But I wanted to talk a few minutes about consistency because I think it's very important for your reinventing journey. And I wanted to use the example of my YouTube channel. Now, many of you may or may not know that I have been YouTubing, is that a word? Anyway, I've been making videos for almost 2 years. I'm almost at 200 subscribers at this point in time, and I'm really excited about that. But one thing that I have realized that has really helped me is being consistent. I have watched a lot of YouTubers who have said, oh, if you do this, you're going to get so many subscribers, and if you do that, you're going to have comments and likes and all this kind of stuff, and you're really going to grow your YouTube channel very quickly if you do all these things. Well, like I said, I've been videoing for 2 years, and I haven't seen this explosion of growth that everybody keeps promising me. But lately I've watched some YouTubers and read some articles and listened to some podcasts that are all about being consistent. That is, when you are showing up every time for long periods of time, people can depend on that, and they're going to eventually catch on and follow. It's not an overnight success kind of thing. So that's what I really want to really emphasize, because I think that applies to reinventing as well. Now, I've been reinventing myself for almost 2.5 years, and it has been a long process. It has not taken on overnight. I have not become this brand new person. Boom, I retired from the ministry and boom, I'm a new person just like that. It has taken a while. I still really struggle with that identity of being a reverend, of being a pastor, of being a minister. And I have got to really, it's taken a while for me to overcome that and realize that's really not who I am. Or instead of saying I serve a church, well, I serve a fair trade store. That's my parish now. Or you are my parish now. And it's not in a particularly religious sense. In other words, I'm not preaching the gospel. I'm sharing and inspiring with you my own story, my own understanding of what it's like to reinvent yourself so that you'll be inspired, so that you can reinvent yourself and you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. And I'm still searching for that joy, fulfillment, and purpose. I'm so much closer now than I was 2.5 years ago. And it has taken a consistent amount of time and effort in showing up and doing things even when I don't want to. One of the things about reinventing yourself that you realize is that a lot of times you are going to want to be comfortable. You're going to want to do things like you've always done, and you just can't do that. Reinventing means that you have got to do the hard work. And sometimes the hard work is going to make you uncomfortable. Sometimes the hard work is going to seem impossible. A lot of times people who you think are your friends and are all for you are going to ask you questions that are going to make you squirm, or going to make you say, no, wait a minute, that's really none of your business. Or that are going to say, wait, are you really asking me this question? How could you do this to me? You have got to really realize that in the reinventing process, you've got to show up, you've got to continue, you've got to be consistent. You've got to do it again and again and again. Every day that you get up, you have got to simply do what you have to do to change yourself, to renew yourself. That means changing your habits. That means setting goals. That means taking those steps to reach those goals. That may mean not sharing those goals with other people, but writing them down instead and having a few friends or coaches or mentors who are going to cheer you on and hold you accountable. It means that you have got to take small steps because they're going to lead to larger things. It means you're going to be doing impossible things for somebody your age, but you have got to do it again and again and again. I've seen a lot lately on YouTube, especially a lot of big influencers are talking about a morning routine and having a morning routine and how important that is. I sort of have a morning routine. I spend some time in drinking my coffee and doing devotional and usually reading a non-religious book as well, like maybe a chapter or so. A lot of times a morning routine is broken up by pets or teenage son or husband or scheduling or whatever it has to be. I can't say that my morning routine is particularly consistent, but I know that a lot of influencers have said if you have a morning routine and you consistently follow that morning routine, then you're going to be successful in other areas of your life. And I think that's probably true. I wish I was more consistent in my morning routine, and maybe that should be one of my goals. How about you? In the comments below, let me know, do you follow a morning routine? If you want to share what that is, that's fine, but just in the comments, if you'll just put morning routine. One of the things that I have enjoyed about being a YouTuber, making videos, is the consistency, because it is a discipline, and that means I've taught myself how to do certain things, how to upload on time. I can't tell you how many times I have, like today, my battery for my light went out, so I'm not going to use that today. Or I've tried to upload, and for some reason the computer or the internet is really slow. I finally learned that I have to pick up my computer off the desk and take it into where our router is and put it right next to the router in order to really have a fast upload to YouTube. I've learned that some things that I have to do to be consistent. I do so much better. I know this is going to be a problem when I try to upload this video because I don't have everything written out. I don't have an outline that I can kind of follow as I'm editing. I don't have my thumbnails already decided. I think I have a clear title, but I don't have all my descriptions done. All of those things that usually help me, I haven't done. But I've learned over time that those are the kinds of things that help me be consistent and help me to stick with it. Because, you know, when you're like, oh my gosh, I've got another YouTube video to do, and I got to decide what I'm talking about, and then I've got to decide the thumbnail picture, and then I've got to decide what I'm going to describe it. If you've already done those things, and then you go to videoing the video, which is the fun part, and then you go to editing, it is so much faster because you know you have done like the hard part. You've done the research, you've done the work, you've done the preliminaries. All you just have to do is follow through. If you have gotten all of those things in a row, if you have made some plans, if you have written things down, you are going to be so much better in being consistent. I think that's true too in reinventing yourself. If you're going to reinvent yourself, there are certain steps that you have to do. Say if you know that you want to be more healthy in your life, well, when you go to the grocery store, you've got to come up with a list, and you have got to know not to buy the sweet boxes of cereal or the candy bars or whatever. You've got to stick to the outside perimeter of the store and buy fresh fruits and vegetables and meats and milk products that are good for you. You have got to take time in your schedule, not just to walk, but you've got to either have clean clothes, or you've got to have decent shoes, or you've got to have a partner to go with you, or you need to put it in your schedule so that you don't have other things that are going to take up time and do it. You have got to do those preliminary, because if you want to go walking first thing in the morning, if you have your exercise clothes sitting right there next to your bed, all you have to do is hop out of bed, do your business, drink some water, put on those clothes, and go. It makes it so much easier to be consistent if you've done some work beforehand to set the ground. So I'm telling you, in your reinventing, when you are renewing yourself, be consistent. That is the key. And in order to be consistent, you've got to do a little bit of hard work to get yourself there. And then you get to the fun stuff, being reinvented. So what do you need to do to be consistent in your life? And I just realized, I just looked at the video that I look like I have a tree growing out of my hair. I try to avoid this look, but anyway, I hope this video has been helpful for you in order to be consistent. And you do need to be consistent in order to reinvent yourself. It is probably going to mean doing some preliminary work so that you can be consistent, but you can do it. I want to inspire you so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up for this video and check out these videos that I've done recently. Have a great one.